Welcome back to your favorite competitive sports betting show. I am your host, Josh Elliott. It's season 2, baby, and we're bigger, we're better, and you better expect some more money to be made. We brought on some of the best sports handicappers that Twitter has to offer. For the next 16 weeks, these guys are going to battle it out head-to-head to find out who will win the Call Your Shot Championship. So strap in. It's going to be a good one. Let's see who's entering in the sports arena today. So now we got in the red corner looking to get his first W on Call Your Shot. I asked him the other day if he thought he can beat his next opponent. He specifically asked me, does a bear shit in the woods? He's always in bringing the action. It's Derek. How's it going, my man?
Not bad, not bad. Looking to improve on that crappy performance a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully I get that first W this week.
Yeah, need to pop that cherry, right? You're going up against in the blue corner after a tough start in his first appearance on Call Your Shot. He's looking to dig himself out of a hole. It's a tough road ahead. He said he ain't scared, as any Italian would say, that he's the man behind the odds, fathers. It's Nicky G. But Nicky G will not be here with us tonight. I will be giving you his picks. He's on a bachelor party. What a loser, right? All right, in the next corner, or next matchup, we got this man once told me that his name isn't a suggestion, it's a taunt. Finding props and picks all over the books like Montana-esque guys. This rookie sensation is ready for a fight. It's Fade, my plays. How's it going, my man?
What's going on? Excited to get going. Like Dig was saying, excited to get a little bit of a better performance. But hey, we moved on, got the W, so looking for a much, much better one this week.
It don't matter. You got the dub, right? You got the dub. Moving on. In the blue corner, he battled his way out of into a playoff spot last year. He made playoffs, took down the President's Trophy winner, Kenny, then took down the big giant they call Source. This man is always going to bring it with some hockey picks or some football picks. It's the guy behind Hearts on Hockey, just Luke. How's it going, my man?
Yeah, took down Goliath. I mean, I'm the only one that can beat him, apparently.
The only guy. Only one.
That's the only time. And, hey, that's the best time if I'm the only time. I'm just saying. Hey, I was 2-2 in the first week. I'll take it. Looked like a good West Virginia team showed up to play against Virginia Tech, and the bad Virginia Tech team decided to play that game. But, hey, I'll take 2-2, and I'll take a dub. Looking forward to this week, and hopefully I go get some 4-0 picks. I feel like this is a 16-0 week.
This is going to be a big week. I have a feeling, too. Yeah, the West Virginia 8-ball did you wrong on that one, eh?
Oh, super. Yeah. Super.
All righty. Well, now, for those that don't know, we have a new format. It is 4 picks, 7 units spread across those picks. Most profit wins. They can make a spread pick, money line pick, prop pick, total pick for any sport, anything that they think will make you money. There are no rules. Now, quick disclaimer before we get going. Also, we are making these picks for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday. Games picked today could have a potential line change or a value change. For example, the Los Angeles Rams are favored right now at 1.5. I think it has dropped to 1. That could change tomorrow. Go, +2, +3, or even the other way. Probably will go down. So yeah, grab a drink, grab a friend, grab your grandma. I don't care. Let's make some picks. And let's make some money, gentlemen. So I'm going to start it off with action. What do you got for your first picks? Derek, what do you got?
All right, so I'm going to go with the homer pick like I promised you 2 weeks ago. I'm taking the New England Patriots again. Using the line -3 at even odds because of our sponsor at BetUS. That's what they had to offer. But there are better lines out there right now, 2.5 if you shop around. I'm taking the Patriots simply because this is the 3rd straight week the Saints are on the road. These guys are itching to get home, and I just think this is a game that they're going to kind of look past and kind of just roll right through it. Patriots and Belichick usually key on the opposing team's best offensive player, take them out of the game. You saw what Carolina did last week to Alvin Kamara. They put the ball in Jameis Winston's hands, and that is why the Saints got absolutely rolled. I see the same game script going this weekend as well. Just take that running game away, force Jameis to throw the ball all over the place. Patriots do have a pretty good secondary that can make some plays on the ball, and there really is no threat offensively on the Saints outside of Kamara. I just think they're going to have a tough time scoring against the Patriots this week, and Patriots offensively have have kept Mac Jones under control. Short passes, dumping it off, no mistakes really. So I think if they keep that turnovers from not happening, they should roll in this game pretty good.
I agree with you. This was going to be the player pick of the week, but I'll let you have it. This was my favorite play of the week this week. One little tidbit of information for you. In their win against Green Bay, where they won 38-3 or whatever it was, they averaged just under, I think it was right around 5 yards per play. Now, that is well below league average. Now, it's kind of a surprising stat for me. And obviously, it didn't get any better when they played Carolina. So their offense isn't really clicking considering their big win against Green Bay. So I love this play. Carolina's defense I think is legit. They've showed that their last 2 games, and I love this play absolutely 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't believe that their offense is as good as it is without I shouldn't say it as good, but they're overrated, let's just say. I think they're overrated essentially. So I agree with you. All right, we're going to go over to Nicky G for his pick. First pick. Now, he sent me a little analysis, and I need the analysis because I don't know what he likes for it. But let me just pull it up here. All right, he's going with his first play is going to be Memphis college football on Saturday. Memphis -2.5 at -115 for a unit. He says Memphis has great home splits through years, and they'll not only play the inferior opponent but have beaten good in SEC Mississippi State last week. I believe UTSA at 3-0 is being overvalued. Yeah, I mean, UTSA is definitely overvalued. They're very below the line in terms of yards per play as well as yards per game. This Memphis play at -2.5, I think, is good. Undervalued, I would say, absolutely, just like you said. So the Memphis 2.5 is a good play. I agree with you. So, all right, let's move over to Fade for his first play. What do you got for me, man? Oh, he's muted. Oh, no.
Classic mistake. I'm going to be going with the Chiefs first half -4. I think this line is, I feel a little bit like people forget the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Like, yeah, they haven't looked amazing or anything like that, but, Tampa Bay got off to a slow start last year. The Chiefs barely covered, spread last year and the year before. I just think this is a spot where the Chargers are being overvalued. And I think Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback. But again, the Chiefs' offensive weapons are insane. Now, I do think that their defense is a giant liability, but with Tyrann Mathieu back, he had 2 picks the other day in a game that they were blowing out the Ravens and then just gave it up. It reminded me a lot of the Niners-Lions game, only the Niners at least won theirs and covered. But this is a spot where it's just a play on the fact that I think the Chiefs, off an embarrassing loss when they had such a huge lead, at home against the Chargers, who have to travel across the country. I think this is a huge spot, and the Chiefs get the scoring gun early, and I like them to be up by at least a tutty at the half.
So what about the defense? Are you worried about their defense at all? Because obviously it was exposed last week against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Does that worry you a bit?
I think, again, like I said, it's going to be a situation where the Chargers are going to get a few points. But, you look at what Baltimore did, and one, they got some lucky plays like that jump pass. That's not Lamar being great. That's just whatever. Anyway, but it's more just the fact that I would put Kansas City's defense, in the bottom tier of the league, but I would put their offense right around number 1. Meanwhile, Justin Herbert and the boys, they're just going to rely on, Eckler to go off, which he usually does against the Chiefs. And that's going to take up a lot of time. And the Chiefs are going to be scoring touchdowns. I think the Chargers are going to be scoring field goals.
Yeah, fair enough. That's another team that I think their offense is slightly overrated. Now, rookie head coach too. There's some growing pains there, but eventually I think they will get going. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But
I don't think it'll be to start off against the Chiefs at home.
No.
You know what I mean?
And that's one team that it ain't going to be against. It's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, give me your first pick. What are we going with? Second mute of the night.
Fuck my life.
Boys are bringing it.
Golly. Anyways, I'm going with Devontae Adams. Anytime touchdown scorer, minus 120, 2 units. Green Bay got back on track. And it's a well-known fact that Aaron Rodgers loves to play in San Francisco and in the Bay Area. The last time they played, back in November of last year, he set a record with 10 catches for 173 yards and a touchdown against the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't see why that couldn't happen again, especially with Aaron Rodgers hopefully being back to being Aaron Rodgers.
Hopefully, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, is he not from LA? Is Aaron Rodgers from LA?
No, he's from the Bay,
No,
dude.
He's from the Bay.
Oh, yeah, right.
He wanted
yeah,
to be a Niner growing up.
Yeah,
Right.
He went to the Cal Golden Bears.
Man,
I mean, yeah, when you got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like, I mean, they could go off any night, no matter who's on the other side. So the value of minus 120 for 2 units, I like the play, man. I agree with you. All right, let's take it back to. Well, actually, that concludes the first round. So, and you know what that means? Just a nice little plug of the sponsor in here. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. This is where we're getting a majority of our lines, as you can see with some of the picks. You'll see the BetUS symbol there, or the logo just above me there. They're America's favorite sportsbook. It's what I use now. It's going to be Canada's favorite sportsbook here soon. And yeah, if you want to use them, make sure to sign up. I'm gonna post a link below for the deposit, sign up and deposit bonus, 125% on your first deposit match. Or if you want, you can use the promo code Call Your Shot for that same deposit bonus. So make sure to check them out. They're a great sports book. All right, Derek, what do you got for your second pick?
Pick number 2, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins +4. Yes, the Raiders are 2-0. Looks impressive on paper, but when you take a deeper dive into their 2 games, week 1, you had the Monday night football game, which was essentially opening up their new Vegas stadium with fans. So, of course, emotions ran high that game. And then last week, they played the Steelers, who, like the first week, were very beat up on defense, they were missing Joe Hayden last week. They were missing Watt last week. And then, week 1, Ravens had no running back, essentially, and lost their top corner in Peters. So I think this is going to be a different matchup. Dolphins do have a pretty respectable defense. So I think the Raiders will have their hands full trying to actually score and put up some points this week. Also, Derek Carr hobbled around late last week in that game. They say his ankle's good. He's going to be playing, but you never know. A starting quarterback hobbling through an injury against a pretty good defense. Just another reason I think that offensively the Raiders might be a little slow. I'm also not worried about Tua being out in this game. I think Jacoby Brissett is probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league right now. I think that offense will maintain, some decent plays and such. Especially with the receivers they got on that team, 2 dynamic guys that can stretch the field and go across the middle and catch the ball. So I look at this game and just say it's a coin flip game. Look ahead line was a pick 'em. Now it's a plus. Now it's a 4. I just think that's crazy overreaction to what we saw last weekend. And I say this is a field goal game either way. And I think the Dolphins are a live dog. So give me the points, please.
So yeah, you could argue too. I don't know. Like I'm quite certain Derek Carr will be starting this.
Yes,
game.
yes, he will. He will be starting. He is practicing, but who knows how that ankle is? Will it?
Let's give Marcus Mariota a little bit more credit. The way he played last year when Derek Carr got injured, he was lights out. I thought for sure he was going to sign a contract somewhere else and be a starter. But yeah, I mean, Jacoby Brissett did okay with the Indiana. I wouldn't say he was lights out, but you think he has potential to be a kind of a starting quarterback even if Tua's out here?
No, I mean I wouldn't want him as my starting quarterback by any means, but serviceable for a few games throughout the season. Yes, absolutely. I think he's got a good arm. I mean, he was with the Patriots coming up, only played a game or 2 in spot relief, but he made smart decisions, didn't really turn the ball over too much. Miami was even using him already this season prior to his injury. He was a short yardage guy. So now that kind of keeps a wrinkle in there. Like the defense has to respect, like, all right, he's not just a short yardage wrinkle, but I need to respect that on any of those short yardage plays that, prior to when it was Tua and Brissett was coming in, you essentially knew what the play was. He was coming up the middle. So, but no, ultimately, I think he's a good spot starter, and I think this is a good game. A game that he'll do all right, manage them to a potential victory.
And sorry, I missed it. Is this in Las Vegas?
It is.
Oh,
it is.
Tough. That place was rocking. It's good to see actually that fans back, or well, not back there, but there for the first time, and that's gonna be a destination spot for a lot of people, especially me. I want to go there 100% during NFL season. That'd be fun. Lots of fun. All right, let's go over to Nicky G for his second pick. He said he is rolling with. I gotta bring it back up here. I lost it again. Where are you? There you go. Okay. He said he's going with college football again, Saturday, Maryland, minus 13.5 at minus 130 for minus 140. Actually, I'm going to change that for 1 unit. Spread is 14, so correct. If I'm not allowed, no, you can buy down. You can buy down to whatever you want here. But Maryland took down West Virginia University with ease and had some great recruits this year. Will be at home against Kent State, whose quarterback, Crum, has turnover issues. And Kent State's defense has struggled in recent years, let alone this season. Yeah, no, he's definitely right. Kent State has not looked good. Maryland, on the other hand, has been one of the surprises of the year. At 30, and you can, but he bought down, which is definitely allowed. And a 13.5 to cover the 2 touchdowns, I think is easily, especially at home against a shitty team. I definitely understand where he's coming from with this pick. All right, Fade, what do you got for your second pick?
I'm going with Arizona Cardinals team total over 14.5 in the first half. This is a play where I just want to take out the equation of having to cover any spread. I don't want them to have to do anything in terms of winning by margin, because the Jaguars, who the hell knows with them. However, what I do love is the fact that in both of their games so far this season, they've scored 24 points in the first half. They should be able to cover this 14.5 easy against a Jacksonville defense that is giving up absurd amounts of yards, absurd amounts of points, and early as well, which I also like to see. Another thing that really makes me like this pick is just the fact that Arizona and Jacksonville are 2 of the fastest pace offenses in the NFL. So there's not going to be these long, drawn out drives. I think it's going to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, back and forth type of football. And I think that they have at least 21 at the half.
Yeah, this is another play. Oh, wow. The team total for sure. I think I got the team total full time for Arizona, but you could also make the argument too that, the teams that Jacksonville's played, their offenses were shitty. Now they're facing an actual decent offense, right? So, I mean, this is another low line to me. Now, you think there are going to be slow drives? Like, why do you think that? Why do you think?
I think that's exactly the opposite. I think they're going to be.
You think they're okay? Yeah.
Because these are the 2 fastest pace offenses in the NFL, lots of passing, so a lot of stop clock. And also another thing that encourages me is the fact that, Kyler Murray got off to an unreal start against the Titans, throwing 2 tutties to D-Hop. D-Hop had like 180 yards. But in the second game against the Vikings, where Kyler Murray threw for 400 yards. Yes, they should have lost that game. Again, why I'm not going with the spread. But it wasn't Christian Kirk. It wasn't D-Hop. It wasn't AJ Green, who is the leading pass catcher. It's just the fact that Kyler Murray can get it done with his arms. He can get it done with his leg. You have Chase Edmonds, who's very versatile at the back. James Conner is a glass leg away from, being out for the season. But I just like this offense. I like the tempo I think this game is going to be played at. And I think that they should be able to cover 2 touchdowns and a field goal or a touchdown as well on top of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Ooh, oh God, sorry. Live update. C-Mac down.
Yeah,
out of the game.
I didn't want to bring anything up, but did he get injured?
Yep, hamstring, done for the day.
Ouch, that sucks. I think I had his total over today too. Fuck, that sucks. Whatever. What do you do, right? Injuries happen. All right, Lukey, what do you got for your second pick?
Unmute, and we're good. All right. So, I'm taking the NC State Wolfpack plus 10 against the mighty Clemson Tigers. Now, I'm just saying, this Clemson team is not the Clemson of old. All right. They don't have Trevor Lawrence. They don't have Travis Etienne. They don't have the receivers. DJ, I'm not even trying to say his last name, is not even on Trevor Lawrence's level. They desperately need a running game. And being in Raleigh, they have given them fits before in Raleigh. Now, mind you, the stats don't show that, but I think they could cover a 10 spot against this Clemson team. I really do.
I agree with you too, and like you said, their offense has just been lackluster. They're not the same as with when Trevor Lawrence is there. Even Georgia Tech, they only scored 14 points. Like that shouldn't happen.
Right.
The only time their offense really got going, I think, was against like a Georgia. Who was it? I'm trying to pull it up. South Carolina State. They scored.
Oh, thank God! Yeah,
right. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot different facing this NC State defense, who's been actually pretty good. I've been quite impressed with them. And I think NC State's at home, right?
Yeah, it's in Raleigh.
Yeah, right. So I definitely like to play. I've already got that hammered for just a bit outside, so I like to play, Luke. All right, so that brings us to the end of the second round here, and you know what that means. It is the player pick of the week. When you are shopping online, www.playergolf.com, make sure to use promo code BETTHEOVER. I'm always wearing their gear, as you can see. I've got a couple other player shirts. And if you're looking for athletic wear, golf accessories, golf attire, anything, they always got you covered. So make sure to check them out and use that promo code BETTHEOVER for the 20% off. So the player pick this week is going to be, like I said before, Derek actually stole my pick, but I'm sticking with the same game. I'm going New England, Denver under 42.5. I don't think we see a ton of points in this game. Very slow, methodical game out of both sides. Both sides' defense, very, very good. We already know that. Wait a second. That's not Denver.
New Orleans.
I meant to put NO there. Well, I'm actually going, New Orleans. My bad. Why I think this is because we're not going to see a ton of offense from the Saints. We just won't. I just don't think their offense is good enough, especially against Bill Belichick and his defense. We're going to see a very slow game out of Mac Jones, like Derek said before. Yes, it wasn't you, Derek. That said there are going to be a lot of checkdowns, a lot of run plays, but not a ton of big plays. So I like the under in that game. Not New England, Denver. It's New England, New Orleans. The battle of the news, under 42.5. I have a really good feeling this will be a lot of 24, maybe. I don't even think the Saints get 17. I think they score or 14, maybe even less than that. So look at the under for that one.
I think we froze on us, Josh, but
Yep,
I can see that I am up here.
Internet.
So my next pick, Notre Dame, plus 6.5. It's at a neutral site, Chicago, but more or less a home game for Notre Dame. So basically, when I look at this game, I was kind of going in between. Is it going to be a defensive battle? Did I want to take the under? Did I want to take the points? I think both are good bets, but I'd rather side with the points in a low-scoring game. I see this game much like the Wisconsin Penn State game a few weeks back, where it was, I believe, 16-10. You're just going to see a lot of runs out of Wisconsin. Their quarterback, Graham Mertz, just nothing special, has looked terrible all year long. So I believe that the defense of Notre Dame can get to him, limit him, shut the run down as well. Also, quarterback for Notre Dame, Jack Cohen, he is a transfer from the transfer portal from Wisconsin. So he's going to be up for this game. He's going to really want this one. Probably knows some insights to the defense and some of those players, having practiced against many of them for years. So I'm going to take the points in this one. I'm going to bite and go with the Irish plus 6.5.
So I seen kind of a stat today that I want to ask you about. No team in the college football holds on to the ball longer than the Wisconsin Badgers. Does that worry at all? They have the ball 68% of the time of the game in both of their games so far.
It does, and I think that plays into their game plan, like I was saying earlier. they really just don't trust the quarterback. There are no big plays whatsoever. So they just rely on their big beef up front in the O-line and just push people around. Notre Dame is a big team as well. They're no slouch. They're not going to get pushed around the way that some of these other teams that Wisconsin typically beats up. But I see Notre Dame sticking with them, probably even winning. I just think Wisconsin is vastly overrated, as they are pretty much almost every single season. I know Notre Dame's public, and that's probably baked into the line, but I just think in a low-scoring affair, 6.5 is just way too much.
And this started as a pick'em. This opened as a pick'em, and that's it is actually kind of crazy to think that Wisconsin, of all people, have are favorites, and well, I guess they are at home, but against Notre Dame, who has been playing pretty well this year.
Another thing I was looking at, not that you ever look ahead of Notre Dame. I feel like that's a game you circle. But next week, Wisconsin has Michigan on deck, which is a much-needed win, since they lost Week 1 to Penn State. They're going to need that win. They've got to be looking ahead to that game a little bit more than Notre Dame. Just another little nugget there.
I agree with you. I think that's going to be – I mean, it's probably actually going to be a boring game to watch, to be honest with you.
Probably.
Wisconsin's game, they just like to run the ball and just hold on to it. But I definitely see a close game. I definitely see a late game field goal or something like that to win it. So the 6.5 is a large number to me. But, yeah, I like it. All right, so we're going to go over to Nikki G for his third pick, and he's got a big 3-unit play here. He is going with the New York Giants to cover the 2.5 spread at -120, 3 units. Once again, he's buying down here, he says. That's okay. The Falcons have been bad on both sides of the ball, letting up a ton of offenses, even though Tampa Bay is good. However, the Eagles move the ball at will, and historically, they get owned by the Giants. At home on 10 days rest after a good showing, believe it or not, by Daniel Jones. Love this play. This is his favorite play of the day. He thinks Daniel Jones is going to go off. Now, I'm self-proclaimed Atlanta better, so I'm going to be staying away from this game specifically. I love the Atlanta Falcons. It is kind of tough. I believe the Giants are at home. I think Atlanta is on the road. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys.
Yes,
I don't know.
You are correct.
So tough.
Somebody's got to win, Josh.
I know. I get that. That offense has been rolling pretty good as of late. But like I said, I'm an Atlanta Falcons better. Be tough for me, but he likes it. That's his biggest play of the day or biggest play of the week so far. So 3 units on that one. All right, Fade, give me this one. Your next pick. I don't even know who the fuck this is, but who is it?
This is going to be in the English Championship. Bournemouth, they're at the top of the table now. It's not just a play on the fact that they're the best side in the league at the minute. It's more about what Bournemouth does at home and what they've been doing recently. Bournemouth is fantastic at home. They're undefeated, but also they're averaging 2.25 goals per game. They've already scored 9. And they're facing a Luton Town side that isn't great away, only 1 win away from home. But more importantly, again, they're very leaky in defense. They love to let in goals. So being able to take that -1, you get the safety of a push if it does come in as a 1-goal victory. But I think they're going to win by margin in a 3-1 type of game, possibly 2-0. But Bournemouth's just been a scoring machine at home, and I expect that to continue.
So you said they score a ton of goals at home.
I mean, a ton being 9 in 4 games, but still, that's pretty solid for a team that's just been relegated, and I think it's a good spot for them to be coming up against a team that likes to let in goals. Luton Town games are usually over City, so.
No, I don't know anything about the English Champions League, so. How are they defensively? Now we've talked about their offense. How are they defensively? Are they are they going to be shutting the door?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, shutting the door in the English Championship kind of isn't really a huge thing. I don't think it's going to be a situation where you're going to see anything too wild though. But in their last 8 matches that they've played, they've only, or excuse me, in their last 4 matches that they played, they've only given up 1 goal. So that's another thing that I really like to see, is the fact that they haven't been letting in a lot recently. And I just, again, I love the fact that they are at home where they do their most damage, and they're facing a team that is not fantastic on the road.
All right, fair enough. You heard it there. If you're looking for an English, not English Premier League, it's English Champions League.
Championship.
English Champions League pick there, a soccer pick. I like it. I like going off the board every once in a while to keep us on our toes. I like it. All right, Lukey, what do you got for your third pick?
Yeah, so I'm obviously going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at just winning outright, minus 126. I have my notes here. Hold on. I thought, let's see. Oh, yeah, they play at the Rams. That's why I picked it. So obviously everybody's astounded with, Matt Stafford and this LA Rams offense. I mean, they're the next big thing. They're the biggest, the best show on turf, and blah 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 blah. Guys, relax. It's only week 3. Okay, TB12. The boys are about to go into that SoFi Stadium or whatever stadium it is, and show them what a championship team actually looks like. Give me Tampa Bay minus 126.
So I got a question for you. Their defense is worried. I shouldn't say worried me, but Tampa Bay's defense has, Atlanta scored a ton of points late in the game. Dallas Cowboys scored a ton of points. Now they are facing the best offense, if not the best offense, as well as defense. Does that have to worry about, so far in week 3? Does that worry about going into this next game?
The front 7 of the Tampa Bay defense, I'm completely okay with. It's the secondary that's having a bunch of problems and a bunch of injuries. So I do give them that. But I don't think the scheme – I think they'll find a way to scheme around it at this point. I think they know how Todd Bowles will figure it out. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator, a great defensive mind, and I think he'll figure it out. If they can make sure that Deshaun Jackson doesn't actually take the top off the defense, I think they can figure it out. I think they'll be fine.
All right, fair enough. I will be leaning the other way, but I mean, hey, we can always disagree, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Derek, what do you got for your last pick?
Last game, I'm going with the Florida State Seminoles plus 1.5. No secret, they have looked like crap the last 2 weeks. They lost to Jacksonville State and then got blown out last week by Wake Forest. And they have issues on the team, but I am not high on Louisville by any stretch of the imagination. They looked good last Friday against Central Florida, and I think that's fresh in a lot of people's minds of how well they looked Friday night on a primetime ESPN game. Right now, I think Florida State desperate for victory here. They have won their last 3 ACC home openers. And on the other side, Louisville has lost their last 3 road ACC openers. That was really the only stat that I looked at in the trends. But yeah, I just feel like this is going to be a desperate Florida State team looking for a win with their home crowd backing them. I'll take that 1.5 in a game. I think they win outright.
If this is Florida State's first, this is their home opener?
ACC home opener.
Okay, gotcha.
ACC home. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But week 1 they looked good against Notre Dame. That's the game that I remember from them. They had Mackenzie Milton came in relief, brought that team back. Mackenzie Milton probably will be starting this game. He has been basically coming in just relief appearances, but due to injury, I believe he is going to be in. So that's probably an emotional lift. I mean, if you remember 2-3 years ago, he was potentially losing his leg after that horrific injury at Central Florida. So this is his first year back after sitting out for a couple of seasons. And I definitely think that team will rally around him and be an emotional lift that he's getting the start in this game.
I forgot FSU was running the 2-quarterback system there for a bit, especially against it was Notre Dame, that game that I watched there.
Yep.
And now, yeah, I mean, now that it's kind of Milton's job, they might actually start to be able to get into a rhythm now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's nice to have just the one quarterback at all times and that chemistry with all your wide receivers and whatnot. But the Louisville game against UCF has to worry a little bit.
It does. They looked good. But Malik Cunningham, the quarterback, he was pretty lame at the end of the game in terms of he looked hobbled. He looked hurt. And just was gutting it out. So what does he have lingering coming into this game? And he's a guy that relies on his legs because he is a mobile quarterback that can, rush for 100 yards a game. He's that type of quarterback. So, yeah, you got to wonder, is there any lingering effects coming into this game where he's going to basically be more one-dimensional and a passer more than a dual threat?
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I like the play. I like how FSU played against Notre Dame and week 1 there. That was a nice cover too. I think it was a big cover. I think it was like
9
points.
Yeah, I think it was 7.5. Yeah, and I believe they lost by 3 in overtime.
It was a last minute field goal too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I like the FSU pick against Louisville. Louisville's offense is not good. I was checking their stats today. Average yard per play is right around 3. That's significantly low. But the FSU, yeah, I like their offense. I like how their offensive scheme works. All right, Nicky G, he's going with Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me bring up his analysis here. Lukey's going to like this one. I know he likes this one. He's going with Steelers for -110 for 2 units. Since he was exposed last week, to me and at home, Mike Tomlin's team just to rarely ever lose back-to-back games. His English grammar is horrible, by the way. I think the offense has no problem scoring on Cincy, and we know their defense is legit. Yeah, it's pretty tough to bet against Pittsburgh to lose back-to-back games for sure. And -3, but you have to think Joey Burrow is starting to get comfortable, starting to get rolling. I gotta ask though, Luke. Luke, what do you think of this play?
I'm staying far away from them. far away from them. I mean, that defense is so hurt right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. Joe Hayden out, Stephon Tuitt out, TJ Watt out, Alex Highsmith's dealing with stuff. Devin Bush was out last week. I mean, they're just so beat up on the defensive end. And then this week, all of a sudden, Ben Roethlisberger has a apparent pec injury. He could barely throw a football. So I mean, if he wants to risk it for that one, he can go ahead. I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't mind a Steelers win on Sunday, but I'm staying far away from that football game. I know that.
Yeah, like I said, Joey Burrow was starting to get comfortable. So I mean,
I needed garbage time Joey Burrow last week. So
yeah, I can't believe basically he ended up throwing 2 more touchdowns. Like
right.
That was unbelievable. But yeah, Steelers. I believe Steelers are at home too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime Steelers are at Heinz Field, it's tough to bet against them. But hey, I never disagree with the odds father. He always has some pretty good analysis. All right, let's go to Fade for his last pick. What do you got?
All right, for my last one, this is my dog here, going Wake Forest on the money line. I believe Derek mentioned it last week. They absolutely kicked the shit out of Florida State. And less about the score, just about the domination of the football during the game. Florida State looked all kinds of crazy. But a big part of that is the Wake defense that they have. If you look at their past 3 games, granted, Florida State, Norfolk, and Old Dominion, they're not the best teams, obviously, but it's that they're holding them to low yardage. Meanwhile, they're going up against a Virginia side that just allowed 700 yards for UNC. I mean, that's just insanity. The game 59-39, it was just point scoring. I mean, you see that there's very little defense on this Virginia team that's effective. I mean, yes, they shut out William & Mary, but it's William & Mary. You can't look at that and think, oh, this is a game we should be judging off. Kind of like the Old Dominion game. I just think that with the offensive power Wake Forest has, but more importantly, their defense is more solid. I think this is a much more evenly matched game. And if it's a pick 'em, I'm taking Wake. So with the 3, I'd rather just take them on the money line at +150.
Yeah, I agree with you. Virginia didn't look so great last week. Now I got to ask you though, considering the 700 and whatever yards that they gave up last week, this line is at 68.5. How do you feel about the total over under?
I mean, it's one of those things where I think that both teams are going to get 30. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Like, if you press me and said, what do I think the final score of this game is? I'm thinking it's something like, 35-31, 35-28, something like that. I think there's going to be points on the board,
So
68,
you think
anything
it's
around 70.
close enough as to where Wake Forest is winning in like a late score or something like that?
I think it's going to be a last possession wins type of game, and that's why I'm taking. Again, this is why I'm taking Wake Forest, because plus 150 on a game where I think whoever has the last possession wins the game. I'd rather take the 150. That's just it's purely a value play in that regard, and also Wake Forest has proven they can score and hold people. And then you see Virginia has proven they can score and not hold anybody. So it's like, it's very much one of those things. If Virginia scores with a minute left or 90 seconds left and you give Wake a chance, with the ball, I think they can get it done. So it's just purely on that. I love the plus 150 price, and, I'm going to be rolling with it. If I had to pick an over, I'd say over, just because I see points on both sides of this game. But anything near 70 kind of scares me because I've been burned before.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That line is fairly enough low. Like, I like doing that too when the line is like 2.5 or 1.5. Just take the money line. Makes it simple, but it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I think either way.
Gonna be one of the more electric games of the weekend. I can say that much.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a Friday game too, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, I think.
The 24th
tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good game to kick off the weekend, right?
Guys, I got to sign off. I'm sorry. Thank you for having me, as always, Josh.
Kid. Yeah, we'll talk to you later, my man.
All right, peace.
All right, Luke, bring us home with your last pick.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks money line minus 125 for 2 units. Now, the Seahawks have succumbed to the Tennessee Titans bullshit. They were up very big last week, and of course, they had Derrick Henry bottled up, and then they let the man loose after that in the third and fourth quarter and lost in overtime. That's a tough one. That is a tough game to lose right there. And then, I mean, clearly before I thought all these injuries that Indianapolis was probably going to be the clear favorite for the AFC South. They beat them quite handily. I mean, it wasn't really close, even though the score says otherwise. It really wasn't that close of a game. So now against a Vikings team that has had a close call against the Bengals, and then, I mean, a 1 point, just brutal loss last week against the Arizona Cardinals. I think Seattle is in the toughest division in the NFC. So I'm going to give it to the Seattle Seahawks to win this game at minus 125.
It's funny. I actually had the week that they lost in Minnesota, the week that they lost, the first week in Cincinnati, I had Minnesota money line. And then last week, I think that was it must have been a live bet. And then last week, I live bet Arizona money line as soon as they went up. Minnesota went up a touchdown. So, but yeah, Seattle's offense, I think, is just too much to handle. I mean,
they're actually letting Russ do Russ things.
Yeah, every time he throws it down, 40, 50 yards, you have to assume Tyler Lockett's on the other end.
That's Tyler Lockett's ball. Yeah. That's
ball. Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, I like the pick. I do like that pick for 2 units. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the show, gentlemen. I'm just going to do a quick refresher of all your picks and sign off. Derek, you're going with the Pats -3 at plus 100 for 2 units. That's even money, 2 units. Miami to cover the 4. -110 for 2 units, and then Notre Dame on Saturday to cover the 6.5 at -115 for 2 units, and then FSU to cover the 1.5 at -110 for 1 unit. Is that all correct?
That is correct. Yep.
And they can all find you at Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
You want more plays posted there?
Yes, I will have more plays.
Sounds good. All right. Nicky G, he's rolling with Memphis on Saturday, 2.5 spread at -115 for a unit. Maryland -13.5 for -140 for a unit. The Giants 2.5 cover -120 for 3 units. big play of the day. And then Pittsburgh to cover the 3 at -110 for 2 units. You can all find him at the Odds Fathers on Twitter. He's always posting some plays, some free plays, and he is one of the more prominent handicappers on Twitter. All right. Now, Fade, we also don't have him, but he's going with KC -4 first half, -110 for 2.5 units. Arizona team total over 14.5 points at -110 for 2 units. And then Bournemouth, I think it's Bournemouth.
Yeah.
EFL for him to cover the 1-goal spread at +111 for 1.5 units. And then Wake Forest on Friday, to cover the money line at +150 for a unit. And you can all find him at Fade My Play. He's always making some posts. He is currently leading the BTV Showdown. I think he's right up at +114 units or something like that. Pretty crazy considering all plays are 1 unit. But make sure to check him out. And then we're going with Luke. Luke, you got Devontae Adams anytime touchdown score at -120 for 2 units. NC State to cover the 9.5 at -102 for a unit. Tampa Bay money line -126 for 2 units. Then Seattle money line -126 for 2 units. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
Yep, that's all correct. You can find me on Twitter at HeartsOnHockey. Happy first training day for most NHL teams. I know the Pittsburgh Penguins were at training camp today. I am petrified of what the season holds for the first 2 months with no Evgeny Malkin and no Sidney Crosby for the first couple months. Not looking forward to that, but hey, first day of training camp. It's my time of the year. It's your time of the year. Can't wait to see how this weekend goes, bud.
Yeah, it's always a good time of the year. And, maybe it might be a bad thing to be a Pens fan right now, but you can always argue it's not. It's never a good time to be a Buffalo Sabres fan. So, I am your host, Josh Elliott. It's been fun. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for viewing. If you want to check us out on our podcast, I will be posting it on tomorrow morning. If you're in the car, you're looking for some picks, lay on that podcast, and so you can get those bets in for the weekend. I have been your host, Josh Elliott. My player pick of the week is going to be, like I said, not New England, Denver. It's New England, New Orleans, under 42.5 for 2 units at -110. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you all put in those bets, and let's all make some money for the weekend.